Now, while normally I'm not the type to jump in on things and try to be topical and timely, this is very much a leisurely channel, but this is just such huge news. They finally announced some information on the new Digimon X. You know, not the quite re-release of this, but a reimagining of sorts, if you will. The Digital Monster X. On Premium Bandai site, they actually have a lot of new information on it, and I'm here to translate it for you. Let's go. So let's start all the way up at the top. Finally, within the Digimon series, the X-Antibody Digimon participate, or arrive, or enter. That's a weird word there. Down here, it says you can raise the X-Antibody Digimon. The Liquid Crystal display, there are some Digimon that are for the first time showing up as X-Antibody Digimon in Liquid Crystal format. We've got Beelzebumon X. Now keep in mind, some of these are pre-existing Digimon, and some of these are ones that are only showing up for the first time in this device. Now, we got Beelzebumon X, we've got Slatemon X, we've got Rhinomon X. Wow, Rhinomon X looks really cool. That's awesome, because normally Rhinomon does not look that cool. Let me show you. So here's regular Rhinomon. See, he's a cool guy. He's got something going on. He just looks a little too armored elephant-y for me. It's a certain aesthetic, and I'm not into it, but this dude is super cool looking. It's like Rhinomon and Zubamon had it, baby. And then down here, there are some Digimon that aren't entirely new, but we do have Megalogrammon X. We have Mental Tyrannomon X. He looks so cool. And we've got Omegamon X. This is one that we've even seen inside of the Pendulum X. So it's not new, but it is cool. And then if you see in the backgrounds here, it shows you which devices ones might be exclusive to. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with the black one, because look just how colorful this is. This design is amazing. It's got so much going on. Like with Ragnalordmon, I was like, this is just, the design is too much. There's too much stuff going on. It doesn't feel like a cohesive design. But this guy, Slatemon X, looks super snazzy. Moving along, down here, it says the X-Antibody Digimon. Many appear. So here it's talking about being in pixelated form and in an X-Antibody form. They have new designs. Right here it's saying the Liquid Crystal toy. The first time recorded Digimon, there will be about 15, more than 15 actually. Although down here in the small text, it says that there will be Digimon that aren't X-Antibody in this device as well. So that's interesting. So not every Digimon will be something X, apparently. So going down here, it says these are 6 Digimon that are having a completely new X-Antibody evolution. So I guess up here when it says 15, it's talking about, like it said, ones that just have never been in the pixelated form before. It's including that in that number 15 plus. So it won't be 15 new X-Antibody Digimon, but it'll be 15 new that we've never seen in an actual LCD screen format. But these guys actually have completely new X-Antibody forms. And could we just skip to what's really cool here? Look at Renimon's X form. Look at the colorful smoke. Yeah, look at that yin-yang symbol. Look at the swirly, I'm sorry, I'm too excited about that one. That's really cool. Dracomon X is an interesting thing because as a Digimon, they are a pure dragon-type Digimon. They're a Digimon that, like, you don't want to go too crazy on them when you make an X form, and I think they did a really good job here. There's just this X, there's a gem, his horns are all shining, they got some red spots. He's a little spiky here too. I think that's as much as you should really ever design a Dracomon up. So I think that's a really good design. Tyrannomon X just looks more like a Tyrannosaurus. He looks very, like, hyper-realistic, almost out of place here compared to regular Tyrannomon. Oh, dang, girl! Is that BL Starmon? It's BL Starmon X-Antibody. She's got these big, fluffy, hopefully, maybe those are crystals? I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Although, I don't know if you can tell because this picture is so small, but it looks like she's just kind of wearing big boots, and then her torso might be naked. I mean, I'm sure it's not that at all, but you know. And check this out. She is so powerful that she's just gonna shoot pretty much like a Digimon repurposed into a bullet out of her gun. That's insane. And then there are 2 Digimon that are currently in the process of being designed. We have Sakuyamon X and we have Diaboromon X. That one is probably going to be crazy gnarly. And I'm also impressed that they're putting it on both devices. That seems like a pretty big showstopper, you know? Now then, we've gotten through these designs, all of the new snazzy stuff. Let's get into the actual system. This stuff is looking really cool. So, the Evolved Adventure Battle Map System. If you fight and win in the digital world, you can progress through the map. In each area, there also exist boss Digimon. With the Digimon you raised yourself, can you win and conquer the digital world? And then down here it says, and if you connect the black and white, a hidden area will appear. If you clear that hidden area, you will get more evolution branches, which is awesome. So if you see over here on this awesome picture, there's Area 1, a la the Pendulum Digivice devices. That's so cool. So it'll actually have kind of a quest mode built into the game. Getting through it will, I assume, unlock different rewards. I mean, maybe they'll be doing something like with the Pendulum X, where you could get items that you needed for evolution by clearing the quest map. It kind of looks like it's set up already to be that way. Next up, we have the battle system. Your Digimon's face will appear in time with special attacks. It's just like a snazzy little, just a little thing for show, but I think it really does make it easier to connect with your Digimon. You see them so often as these pixely, what are they? The pixely little dudes. And like, I feel for them and I connect with them, but I feel like when you see this face, you know, that's the real deal. That's when you know. That's when you fall in love with your digital baby, you know what I'm saying? But also, there is the Psi system. Now, if you've never heard like why they call it this and why it kind of makes sense in a Japanese sense, X-Antibody Indicator is what the acronym stands for, but also Psi is how Japanese say dice. So it's like saying the dice system. Do you see the the play on words there? And before you battle, you roll the dice. It's like the Pendulum X, except it looks like instead of actually having an X little indicator on here, you're actually just seeing it on the LCD screen, which is fine. The X indicator on the old Pendulum X was kind of flashy, had like this weird low frame rate, and it was hard to capture on camera, and also it made my eyes hurt, okay? Anyway, depending on what you roll, your attack gauge's speed will change, so I like the way this sounds already. It seems like they've changed it from the old Pendulum X to where, depending on your dice roll, it would either do no attack, or might as well be no attack, or a super attack. And it's just like, no matter how good you got at shaking the device, you could just end up in these situations where your attack would be crap and you would lose. And it was really hard to keep your win percentage ratio up in the old Pendulum X. But in this one, it looks like it just, depending on your dice roll, it makes it easier to hit this attack gauge. Like, there's no picture here of the attack gauge, but I'm assuming that if you get a good roll, it like slows it down and it makes it easier to hit like a big hit or something like that. I'm really excited for this change. Down here in the small text are a couple sentences that I'm not super certain on. If anyone wants to correct, please do go ahead. It seems like it's saying that this is possible in single battles. It doesn't say only. It seems like it's marketing speak right here, but I think they're saying that this whole thing really is only in single battles. That makes sense too. We've seen in other digital pets before where, like even with the Pendulum version 20th, for instance, where normally in single battles you would shake it. You would have this whole system set up, right? But then whenever you go into battling with other devices, it would be this kind of simplified, dumbed down version of it. And so that wouldn't surprise me too much. And then right here is saying the portrait is an image. I guess it's just saying that this is just a still image. I guess they just don't want us to get too excited like we did with the D2 version 15 Digivices. They have those really cool evolution animations, and maybe they just want to be upfront about it. If you machine translate this, it just says the image is an image. But yeah, gazo means image or portrait or representation, that kind of thing. Moving on, down here we have the backup system. Now this is going to be really great for competitions. It'll be really great in general if there's just a Digimon that you love and you want to pull out at any time, anywhere. This is the backup system. You can preserve 2 Digimon in their current trained status. So, yeah, the way this is written, it's saying that like at the time of training status, in that state that they are there when you're training them, you can store them safely for use later. It goes on to say that you can also exchange them with Digimon you're currently raising. So that's cool. If you do one generation and you have like some big strong dudes and then, you know, you want to preserve one of them for later because, you know, you're ready. You're ready to move on and start the next generation, but you don't want to lose that super sweet Omegamon X. You can store them and then say next generation you're over there, you're raising some rookie/child Digimon and some guy pops out of the bushes and he's all like, Digibattle! Which is very unlikely in the US, but I mean in Japan, I assume it's like that in Japan. I assume Digimon battles just happen like Pokemon battles. You make eye contact, it's gotta happen. You can just whip out your Omegamon X from storage. Bam! And then they're dead. It also says that the toy's worldview illustration booklet's included. I assume this might be a map or just kind of like a little, you know, the little booklet that comes with pretty much all of these things. So that's the device. That's pretty much all there is to know so far about the Digimon X. There are some extra information down here. This last bit is pretty important information for those of you who knew about. There was a vote. There was a Digimon X-Antibody vote for which Digimon that does not have X-Antibody form should get an X-Antibody form. So now, according to this, the vote is closed as of like August 20th. I did vote in it. There were a lot of interesting X-Antibody Digimon candidates. One that I voted for was Numamon. I think Numamon would make a really cool X-Antibody form, but they are saying that the first and second place are actually going to be getting an X-Antibody form, and they'll be announcing who did that, I guess today. In fact, by the time this goes up, they'll probably have already announced it. So if that is the case and I see it, I'll put it in the comments below what it was. And that's it. That's really it. That's all it is. Here's an advertisement for a live stream that they did where they had a bunch of guests and they're sharing a bunch of more information. Keep an eye out for anything new about that. Like I said, my channel is very much like a leisure channel, and I'm not going to just be making a video after every single bit of information that comes out about this thing, but this is just like the bulk of it. This is important to us because I absolutely will be doing a series on this pet as soon as it comes out. Let's see, it's It'll be coming out March 2019, so that's awesome. You can pre-order them already. Pre-orders are open, and it looks like they're going for 37.80 yen each. That's about $34 US. Usually I go through DE Japan. It's dejapan.com. That is where I've bought pretty much every anniversary device so far, and I'll also be pre-ordering through them as well here now. Okay, so I've got this browser out on that lets me see the full version of pictures that I hover over, and it's really handy here, because here we can see, oh, that's beautiful. I want to see this one too. Oh, it's gorgeous! It's basically just the Digimon version 20th, which is kind of disappointing. People were kind of assuming that there would be the shell cage part might be a different form, but it looks like they're just using the same mold from the Digimon version 20th with this X kind of painted on top. That's probably my only point of contention here, is that they didn't make it a completely new shaped device, but they are going out on a limb here. They are, let's remember, making pretty much a completely new, well, not completely new, but as close to a completely new device as we're going to get from Bandai for the foreseeable future. They're taking a big risk, and if this performs well, I can imagine them doing way bigger things in the future. This is the closest thing. Look at that. X-Antibody indicator, VPET case. Look at that case. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. I can't wait. Well, that's all for this video. What are you looking forward to in the Digimon X? The battle system, the quest system / map system, the backup system, all of the new Digimon. Like, obviously the star of the show here is all of the new Digimon, and I can't wait to see who won the poll thing. I really hope it's Numemon. I would love to see a Numemon X. I would lose my life. That would make my year. So I hope that's the case. If this is your first time here, I do digital pet diary type things. I also play with like Dreamcast VMU games, anything that's digital pet related. Mostly we do Digimon here though. So if you're down with that, and especially if you want to see the actual Digimon X played with, because I'm going to be doing a big series when those two release. I'm planning on pre-ordering both of them. With these newly released devices, I usually end up doing about 3 or 4 generations, and I'm just looking forward to it so much. Well, anyway, thanks for coming by. Thanks to my patrons for supporting my channel, especially Cookieface and Shifter, and I'll see you all in the next video.